It's a major impact to have somebody in your corner, somebody that's like really there for me, like super supportive, like my hype man, like no matter like what I do, yeah, it makes my heart happy.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Okay.
Thanks.
It's good to know. My first impression of her was I was taken aback. We hadn't met before, and I was nervous. I remember her walking up towards me, and I was sitting in the car kind of waiting for her because I didn't know where she was coming from, picking her from her house on our first date. And I jumped out of the car and kind of ran to her and gave her an awkward side hug and gave her some flowers, hey, I'm Andrew, hey, what's up? But I remember just seeing her, and her smile was the very first thing that stuck out to me. And she was wearing sunglasses, so I couldn't really see her eyes. However, it was her smile that really stuck out to me, and I thought yeah, she's very pretty. I like her.
I thought he was very attractive, and I loved his smile. It's crazy that we both were attracted to each other's smile, but it was very welcoming, and I just thought it was really sweet of him for kind of acknowledging what I liked. So before the date, he asked me a whole bunch of questions, what's my favorite color?
Because I was afraid she'd ghost me again.
No, it's not. What was my favorite color, and what was my favorite drink, and he kind of incorporated all that when he was planning the first date, and I thought that was really thoughtful of him. There's not a lot of people that will do that, so I like that.
Being understood in a relationship feels for me, is just really having somebody who's there with you regardless. Kind of having that sense of, oh, he's in a mood, let me take a step back, or oh, he's in a mood, let me, maybe he needs something, kind of just knowing. And I think more so with Jasmine, she has an understanding of me, or a really deep understanding of me that she picked up really quick, is that sometimes I'm in my head a bit, but I won't admit it. And she kind of was able to acknowledge that and address it. And I would honestly say that being understood in this relationship is really reassuring to know that somebody actually does care about you, and that they're willing to pay attention to the little intricacies of myself. And I really feel safe and secure being able to tell you things. And she's really learned to, I guess, attune herself to me, but not in a way where she has to be hyper vigilant, but more so she just knows oh, it's Andrew. He needs to meditate, or he needs to go to the gym, or he just needs an energy drink, or I should just not talk to him for 10 minutes so he can process what's going through his mind. And it's just the little things like that she really understands. And as vague or simple as it may sound, not everybody is willing to give that person that kind of space or that attention. And that's really important to me. And I appreciate that about you.
So being understood in a relationship for me means a lot of things. I would probably say being heard. And I don't just mean I say something and then you just respond to respond. It's when he asks questions, they're intentional. And so I feel when we were first getting to know each other, I knew he was different because I would say something. Let's say he was well, what is your dream? And I told him oh, it's my dream to own my own bakery one day. And, I kind of went off on a tangent. I was just telling him about it. I was telling him that ever since I was little that my father taught me how to bake, and how it means a lot to me to one day open up a bakery so I can share my creations with the world. And I just thought that it went in one ear and out the other, but it didn't. And he was really interested in that, and he was do you want to tell me more about your bakery? And I really want to see you in action, and tell me about that place that you said that you wanted to go and lease and all this stuff. And I just oh, you remembered. I didn't think that you cared about that kind of thing. So yeah, I like that about you. So Andrew has taught me that I get into moods sometimes, and that I need to communicate better. I do struggle with communicating my emotions, and that's something that he has taught me, that it's okay to speak my mind and communicate and work through things. And even if we have differences in opinions and stuff, he's still there listening, not judging me. But it doesn't always necessarily mean that he's going to agree with me. So I like that. I like openly communicating with you without the other party being upset or making me feel like I'm in trouble. I think that's why I struggle with communication so much. But he's helped me come out of that.
Jasmine has helped me realize that in certain times that it's okay to ask for help. I really dislike asking for help. I will literally struggle and hurt myself or lose my cool over not asking for help. And she's really made it a lot easier to be like, I need help. Even though I don't say it in those words, I'll kind of like, maybe you can do this, or can you help me with that? And yeah, she makes it very easy. She's approachable when it comes to that. And before, I felt like I'd be a burden asking, like, hey, can you help me? Like, no, it's okay. I'll help you. I'm like, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. She's also helped me realize that apparently I have bad time management skills. And I didn't realize that. I just kind of was like, I'll get there when I get there, even though I know I have to be there a certain time. I'll kind of get there around that time. And she's opened my eyes to that. And she's pushing me to do a lot better on that and really learn to move quicker, swifter, and intentional and get places on time.
What is a disagreement that we had that has ultimately deepened our connection?
It was early on when we started going out.
Okay.
It was actually your birthday.
Okay.
And I didn't tell you that I didn't tell my daughter we're going out. And she got in a mood.
Me.
You, yes,
Yeah.
you're she. Yeah. I mean, we were early on. It was our second, third date, and it was her birthday. I want to take her out, so we did that. However, my daughter wasn't aware of Jasmine just yet. I wanted to make sure this was going to be something before I introduced my daughter into, the bigger picture of us. And you got upset that evening, and took some time to kind of like understand your point of view, and then for me to get my point across to you as far as to why I wasn't, getting my daughter involved in it just yet. And it's not like it was a secret. I was trying to hide her from you or vice versa. It was just I didn't want her to, just maybe get excited about nothing or like see her dad get hurt. Just various reasons why I didn't tell her at that time. And I feel like that really helped us see things on a clear level, more eye to eye, and kind of rationalize what we wanted and going out on these dates and kind of, maybe finalizing what we wanted between each other. And ultimately, I think that night really brought us closer together, having had that conversation and having a better understanding.
Well, I feel like we have helped each other heal in love. And I feel like maybe before we met each other that we thought that we weren't deserving of love or this kind of love and this connection that we have just because of our past. And I think that, I don't know, we have like this like young, playful, spontaneous, never-ending, flirtatious love. Yeah, I think that healed us. It healed our heart.